All right, so Jacob Castro with Parry Punch, and today I'm joined by Matt the Steamroller Frevola. He's coming off a win over Drew Dober at UFC 288. It was a first round TKO, and it actually got him a ranking in the lightweight division. So just wanted to catch up with him and talk to him about the win. How are you doing, Matt?
Doing good, man. Just getting back to the gym, getting my body moving again. Feeling good, letting the W sink in.
Yeah, and you said you're a little bit banged up, but nothing too crazy from the fight. You just gotta maybe just a little soreness is all.
Yeah, my left hand and my left wrist were a little swollen after the fight, but I'm good, man. I'm good. I'll be hopefully back on the mats next week, doing some jiu-jitsu and back to training and next week.
Okay, cool. Well, let's get into the fight a little bit then. Drew Dober, he was ranked above you at the time, but you obviously got that first round TKO. How were you expecting that fight to play out? Because it was on Dana White's If You Don't Know, Now You Know. And it was a really exciting fight. I don't think a lot of people are expecting it to end in the first round.
Yeah, I was prepared to wrestle him. I was prepared for a 15-minute, war. I knew he was tough. I knew that, if I rocked him in the first round, that he was tough to put away, that he comes back and he wins fights even after he gets rocked. Um, but, I also knew I could knock him out and, I dropped him and, the killer instinct came out. I smelled some blood and I went for the finish and we got it.
Yeah, and was that something that you planned for that first round TKO, or were you planning for a longer fight? Or how were you looking at it going into it in that sense?
I was planning on using my wrestling, but just like
Hmm.
all the fights, I'm prepared for a 15-minute war. Um, but it didn't have to. We got it done early.
And it was almost identical to that your last knockout against Otman Azaitar. Is that something that you kind of train in the gym as well?
That's just my boxing, my hands. This fight it was my right hand, my good old fashioned F bomb. The last fight was left hand. It was the left hook Larry. So I got power in both hands, and I got a lot of weapons on the feet as long as and also a lot of weapons on the ground.
After the win, you had to call out on Paddy Pimblett.
Paddy Pimblett, you absolutely suck. Stop being a and let's fight. All right? You're on a 4-fight win streak. I'm on a 3-fight win streak. You're in the UFC. You can't pick and choose your fights. You got to fight who the fans want to see you fight. Let's go. Who wants to see Paddy Pimblett the Steamroller? Let's go. Who wants it?
He actually responded to it. So that's looking like the matchup in MSG in I think November, December.
Yeah, November.
Okay, and now that you're kind of like ahead of him in a sense, so you have a choice almost like if you wanted to fight in the top 15 or if you want to go with him, but he's got that big name, so it's almost worth it, right? In that sense.
Yeah, I'm not even thinking about rankings. I wanted to fight him for a while, and the fight makes sense now. So I'm hoping we get it booked. I know he's got to get healthy, so he's got to focus on getting healthy, and then we'll figure out when we want to get it done.
Okay, and what's behind that call out a little bit, like because you've been in the UFC a little bit longer than him, and then when he kind of joined, there was a lot of hype behind him. So is there any like personal vendetta, or is it just something where you like to? Because you also beat undefeated guys a lot. He's undefeated in the UFC as of right now. So what's behind wanting to fight him?
Uh, I just I love the fight. I love the matchup. And yeah, the fight excites me. Ever since he came to the UFC, he's got good fights. He's got good finishes, and it'll be a fun one.
Okay, so you think he's an exciting fighter, and that's kind of one of the reasons why. So it's not necessarily like bad blood. You don't dislike him in that sense.
Nah.
After the fight, you got a 14th ranking. You also got a bonus, which is your first bonus. So, I mean, how does that feel, man? You got 50K in the bank. You got a ranking after that win in front of a home crowd. I mean, a lot of things going your way in that sense.
Yeah, it feels good, man. I've been doing this for a minute. I stayed consistent, and it's paying off. Had all my last 3 fights were awesome, and I know it's just leading to bigger and better things, and like I tell people, just wait for the next one.
Yeah. And then it was your team as well. You guys all got the dub in the event. So it's like that Serra-Longo thing. Did you guys feel that support in the home crowd? Because it's kind of weird. Like Aljo didn't get the love, but maybe some of you other guys felt some love in there.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether it's in New Jersey or anywhere. We're always in there to get the W. and the people are respecting Aljo, and they will, and we both got the job done, and now we both got big fights on the horizon.
Yeah. And just a couple more for you then. Um, as far as like how your UFC career has gone, you kind of came in on a hot streak. You were undefeated at the time. And then after the Contender Series, you had a little bit of a rough patch, but you've been able to recoup since then. And you got like 3 first-round TKOs. So I'm wondering, like, what have you done when you lose that has been able to like stop you from going on big losing streaks? You seem to come back better after losses, is what I'm saying. Like Jalen Turner, another big win after a couple losses, you know?
Yeah, it's consistency, and that's it. And really, learning from all your losses, all your setbacks, and staying consistent. Not giving up. And after all those losses, I got right back to the gym. I worked on what I needed to work on, and then we got back to it. And that's it. Consistency.
Yeah. And those bounce back fights, they were against tough competition. Like the one again, like I said, Jalen Turner, he's a really tough guy. You had another bounce back against an undefeated fighter. So was that something that you were like able to maybe build a lot more confidence off of? Because maybe like you were the underdog in those fights, right? And then you got the win when the odds were stacked against you. So has that made you a little bit of a tougher fighter as time has gone on?
I'm always the
Mental
underdog.
strong.
I'm
What was
always
that?
the
Yeah.
underdog mentality, and they counted us out my entire life, and I'm gonna keep showing them. All I need is an opportunity, and we're starting to get those.
That's right. And I know you also fight for your fans. You're big on Twitter as far as like engaging with all of them. So how does it feel just to kind of like keep building that fan base and the steamroller armies kind of like following behind you, and you could even feel it more and more as these fights happen?
Yeah, it feels amazing. It's I'm doing what I love, and I'm pumped that people love to watch me do it. And that's why I love martial arts, and I love putting on a beautiful demonstration of martial arts techniques, in a fight in the cage for the world. So it's I appreciate all the love.
Yeah, man. It's nice to see, and hopefully we can just keep the ride going here. I mean, 3 first-round TKOs, it's hard to beat that, but hopefully in the next one, you and Paddy put on a crazy war. Um, but I got a couple like just fun ones for you about your life. Some couple things people might not know about you. Actually, one thing we touched on in the past was your history in the reserve. But I was just curious, what did that entail necessarily? Like, is that something where you went away for a few years, or what did you do in the reserve?
No, I didn't do any deployments or anything. But I was military police. I drilled with my unit right in Long Island, and then I was in a unit down in Tampa. And then I would go away for 2 weeks in the summertime, and then drill a unit one weekend a month, and it was good, man. I went on a lot of trips. I was in Missouri for a while. I got to go up to West Point for a summer. Yeah, I did some cool stuff. I learned some great things, and I fulfilled my urge to serve that I had, and I'm a warrior, and that's just in me. So
Yeah, like you said, you're a warrior, and I kind of had a question off of that, which is I have no idea what the reserve really entails, but did that somehow prepare you for your UFC or fighting career in any way that you've seen play out?
yeah, definitely everything has prepared me for this.
Any like specifics as far as some things that maybe are more prevalent than others?
No, man.
Okay, fair enough. And then last one is you got a criminology degree. So were you gonna like be a police officer or a lawyer or something like that at first, and then you chose fighting? Or tell me about the going and getting a criminology degree.
Yeah, I always thought about that, doing police work, but I started as exercise science major, and then I got a scholarship from ROTC, and I had to keep my GPA up, and I started taking criminology classes, and I like understood it all easier, and I liked it. It was all cool stuff, and kept my GPA up, and I got my degree and got my commission into into the Army Reserves as an officer.
Oh, so it helped you kind of get into the reserve in a sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And just last one I have for you, I meant to ask it earlier, but Paddy had put out a video recently where he's like, everyone loves the baddie and that stuff.
Paddy Pimblett, you absolutely suck. Stop being a bitch.
Do you have any thoughts on that? Any response at all?
No, it's he's starting. I know he sees everything. I know that he wants this fight too. He sees the magnitude that this fight could be, and he wants to prove everyone wrong. I hope if he's the fighter that I think he is, I think he'd want to prove everyone wrong. Everyone's saying I'm just going to knock him out in the first round. I respect his skill, and I hope that he wants to step up and let's get this done.
All right, well, fair enough. Thank you for the time, Matt. I really appreciate it. I know you're probably busy. But yeah, enjoy the win, man, and thanks again for the time.
Peace.